Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are far too kind. Way too kind. Thank you. I'll take it. I'll accept the love. Thank you. Alrighty. Yeah. Indeed. Yeah. Yeah. That could mean one thing only. The celebration, right? The adoration, huh? Huh? The appreciation can only mean one thing and one goddamn thing only. You, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are now in tune for another episode of the one and only Dignified Bastard Podcast. Give it up for yourselves. Yeah, that's right, man. We back up in this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? On a Sunday afternoon, you know what I'm saying? On that Sunday yeah, Mike, tell them again. On a Sunday afternoon, all right? Right, the planets are doing their thing. Pluto is in the sign of Aquarius. Right, Pluto, all about death and rebirth, regeneration, transmutation, and things of that nature. That's what it's all about. I don't know if you remember before this year even kicked off, you know, a lot of the astrologers that I tend to glean from we're talking about this year being the year of Pluto's return, or maybe 2022 rather was the year of Pluto's, one of them years, you know what I'm saying? One of those years. I believe it was oof, shit. I believe it was 2022, you know what I mean? I really think it was. But anyway, it's supposed to be a very transformational time. Not just for this land that we're living on, but as for the shift of energy hitting the planet, things of that nature. And I hear it all the time, you know what I'm saying? You know, cats be like, you know, yeah, miss me with the astrology stuff, but you know, they celebrate their birthdays. They always make like subconscious or unconscious full moon references, you know, you know, talking about the freaks come out at night and things of that nature, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, you know what I mean? We just gonna keep on pushing, and today's episode is more of a question. It's inspired by a question. Dealing with today's times, right? The current events that are going on at the moment. Should we be more focused on the instability that seemingly is happening, taking place, not just in the quote-unquote United States of America corporation, but on the whole world as a whole, right? Man, that was a mouthful. Thank you. That was a mouthful. Thank you to the ancestors. They helped me out on that one. Big ass lips. But should we even be focused on rumors of war and wars, or motherships in the sky, or celebrities dying, new movies coming out? Should these things even be part of our focus? And I also will give my personal take on, that's right, John Wick 4. I saw that joint last night, son. Spoiler alerts. Spoiler alerts. Hopefully, I'm going to only be here for about an hour, right? Even though I'm like, wherever spirit leads me, that's where the fuck I'm going to go. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how we do over here at the one and only Dignified Bastard Podcast, man. We just kind of let nature take its course. You know what I'm saying? Much like the ancient people of old, you know what I'm saying? Just let nature take its course. We don't try to control anything. But like I said, getting back to my original question, which is the inspiration for this particular episode, because more than likely, I'm just speaking about me, right? More than likely, I have to be spiritually inspired. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody, but I have to be spiritually inspired nowadays to do things. Because 19 Keys, man, shout out to 19 Keys. That brother said this on the podcast episode I was watching. I think he was talking with the brother Billy Carson, and he said, that's why you need to be alone with your thoughts, because now all of your thoughts need to be turned into ideas or things of that nature. Give me some on that. Give that brother some on that. That's not my original thought, but I too agree. Therefore, I take it to the step of being spiritually inspired. Because if you look at the word inspiration, okay, all right, if you look at that word inspiration, there is in spirit, okay? So to even be inspired, shall we say, you have to be in touch with your own spirit. Yes. I will be taking donations at the end of service. High five, Jesus. High five, Jesus. No, but seriously, you got to be in touch with your own spirit, man. You have to have a inner coherence with your own divine self. And one of the best ways to do that, right, and I've talked about this before, one of the best ways to do that is to say to yourself, everything about me is divine. Everything about me is divine. Everything about me is divine. You know what I'm saying? You got to feel like that, right? You got to get that down in your core, right? I had a YouTube channel once upon a time. Feels like it was so many moons ago, right? But it was called the King's Corner Podcast, and the focus was on culture, community, and consciousness, right? And a lot of my episodes, I label them CORE, an acronym for changing our reality every day. And that was something that was truthfully, divinely inspired. I don't know where that came from. That came from my higher divine self, the oversoul, spirit, universe, the cosmos, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? It came from that frequency, from that upper realm. And this all ties into the question that was the inspiration for this show. It was the inspiration for me finding the right background music. It was the inspiration for me to find the right mic and music levels to even record on, to make it sound extra nice. You know what I mean? Because I'm thinking about returning to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But just on an audio level, you know what I'm saying? Cats don't need to see my face. They don't need to see what the junkyard Jedi look like because, we're getting past all that. We're getting to a place of unity consciousness. And if you are still stuck up on what somebody looked like and not the gems that they are dropping, then you, my friend, my good sir, my good madam, you don't really realize that it don't matter if you black or white. Tell them, Mike. You dig what I'm saying? You dig what I'm saying? No, when you really get to the DNA, when you get to the structure, right? When you get to the structure, when you get to the cell structure of this shit, you break it all down to its most simple compound, right? And what you find is energy, right? Energy, right? And I never said that question, but I'm going to get to that question, man. I know y'all thought I forgot, but I didn't. I'm just flowing with how I've got it, man. But it's all about energy at some point, right? When you break this thing down. But the question is, at this time, at this place and space that we are in cosmically, that we are in culturally, that we are in as a community, quote unquote, should we be meddling with mysticism and metaphysics? You know what I mean? That is a great question. Shout out to Brother Rich, Black Magic 363. He asked some great questions. He inspired me with that shit. You dig what I'm saying? Great people inspire great people. But yeah, like I had that question earlier. Just rise up in my spirit, and I'm like, yo, at this time, right, when it seems to be so much being revealed, right? A huge part of that, I believe, from my own communes with, i.e., Mother Nature, or my own divine feminine intuition, is that the earth, she is transforming and mutating, evolving, right? But in order for that to happen, she has to put some things in balance, right? She has to place some things in balance. And I think I'm going to answer my own question that was the inspiration for this show. So just sit back and enjoy the ride, light you an incense. You dig what I'm saying? Drink you some real good water or something, Take a shot of whatever your favorite beverage is, because I'm going to go there this particular episode. I'm feeling inspired, like I said. Mother Earth is actually, or Daughter Earth, rather. Shout out to Sister Myra's Daughter Earth, Mama Universe. She's actually pregnant right now, right? She is, she is pregnant right now, right? And what we are feeling, right? What we are feeling is the gestation period, right? That's what Pluto in Aquarius is. It is the actually re-emergence or the emergence of the proverbial caterpillar from the chrysalis into the butterfly, right? That is the point that we are in right now, okay? And Mars, going back over into watery Cancer, is making us slow down and appreciate the moments that we are presently in, okay, and still understand where our focus should be. So like I said, it seems as if, I answered the question that inspired this show. Should we be meddling in mysticism, the mystical reality that is around and within us each and every day? Or should we be, not focusing or meddling with the metaphysical, those things that are outside of the visible reality that they are trying to seemingly manipulate anyway? You know what I'm saying? So this has kind of always been, man, I'm just real big on praising. Somebody praise him. Clap that shit up. Now, I'm just saying, this has kind of always been what it is. We hear about and we've seen and we've read and we've heard and we've, observed and settled in our minds, if you are on this spiritual path, that what you see is not what you always get. You dig what I'm saying? It's not. What you see is not what you always get. We should especially know that now, right? How many times have you been watching like one of those shows like The Voice or something like that, and you get a little old quote unquote white lady up there, and you know what I mean, she dressed like she's straight out in the Mormon church. You dig what I'm saying? She has on sunglasses. She has on a dress that covers her from her neck all the way down to her ankles, right? She has her hair pulled back in a bun. It's dirty blonde. She has on glasses, no makeup or anything. But you can tell she's, a little attractive or something like that. And she says who she is and what she does. And then the music comes on. Next thing you know, she done snatched off the goddamn dress. She's flipped her hair up. And this bitch is singing some goddamn Beyonce. Right? Right? She's channeling some Beyonce. Right? And motherfuckers are standing there with their mouths open, and I'm like, this ain't nothing new, right? It's nothing new, right? This is the Tina Marie thing popping right back up. This is once again, proof that sometimes, just maybe, the gift is not going to look as if it's in a suitable package. You dig what I'm saying? Or vice versa. Shout out to DOS Effects. Yeah, sometimes the package is not going to seem suitable to the gift that's inside. Think about that for a moment. The package is not going to appear suitable to even carry the gift that is inside. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are looking for the gift that shows up externally. Excuse me, let me get a drink of water real quick. Some of us are way too dependent on that visual aspect of our reality. It's not our fault, right? We've been trained, conditioned to be in love, quote unquote, with the physical world, right? In my humble observation and opinion, right? Let me just say observation, not opinion, right? Observation. In my observation of information and certain esoteric realities that I've come into contact with, if you believe in the physical world, then you have to believe in the non-physical world. You dig what I'm saying? Once again, if you believe in love after love, if you believe, if you believe in the physical world, you have to also believe in the non-physical world. You dig what I'm saying? You got to believe in that shit too, man. Right? If you believe in the light, you have to believe in the dark. And some might even say that this gives rise to this bogus ass, or however you feel about it, the idea that this is a binary system, positive, negative, male, female, light, dark, up, down, left, right, so on and so forth. Right? Now, to a degree, yes, that is a certain reality. That is no doubt the truth. That's a certain reality. But there is also, okay, on the same token, there is also the same truth, right? Because as the universal principles or laws tell us, all truths are but half truths, right? So even though, right, we've said, hey, this physical world is a reality, we've settled it, right? In our heads, in our hearts, we've settled it, right? Even though we've come to that grand conclusion, right? We still have to wheel and deal in the physical world, right? You're still going to feel pain, right? You're still going to feel sorrow. You're still going to feel hurt, right? The thing is, how do you transmute that, right? How do you transmute that feeling, those feelings, right? Because feelings, right, are going to be the fuel, right, that moves you towards your reality, towards your manifestations. You dig what I'm saying? That's what's going to do it for you. You want to move towards your dreams, towards your goals, right? You have to fuel those dreams and goals with emotion. What's it going to feel like making love to the woman of your dreams? No, seriously, fellas. Right? Is she going to be, sensual, voluptuous? Is she going to have a mole on her lips, next to her mouth? How's her nose going to look? Right? Is she going to have a southern accent? Is she going to be an up north girl? Right? So now, right, we're going back. Let's go back at this time. Right? Let's go back at this time. Once again, the question is, should we even be meddling in mysticism? Right? Come back to present self. Yes, we should be meddling in mysticism, in the metaphysical aspects of reality right now, because that is reality, right? The same way that the physical world is reality, the metaphysical world is reality as well, right? But once again, it's at what degree? What degree? What degree? What degree, huh? Reminds you of masonry, reminds you of university schools where you can acquire a degree, and they are labeled based on the extent of what they encapsulate or what they include, what degree, so to speak, bachelor, associates, you dig what I'm saying, masters, doctorate, PhD, the MBA, all of that shit. So at what degree are you going to succumb to the fact that you can change your reality? You can actively change your reality, right? Because let's be real. Let's be honest for a second. Let's be honest for a second. Didn't they actively change our reality with some with a scientific laboratory manufactured version of the flu? Didn't they do that to us? Huh? I'm curious. I'm just curious. Man. I feel like they did that to us, man. You know. I mean, huddle amongst yourselves. Talk among yourselves. I don't know. Me and all my multiple personalities. You dig what I'm saying? We all feel, well, most of us anyway, and there's a few naysayers. But anyway, it don't matter, right? You are here. We are here. This is a wonderful time to be alive, right? This is a wonderful time to be alive. 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 Give it up for yourself. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Tell them, Mike. Yeah. Give it up. Tell them. Right? Of course we should be meddling into the magical, mystical, and the metaphysical. Of course we should. Of course, right? Of course we should be paying attention, not so involved. And trust me, let me make this disclaimer. I am nobody's political advocate, spiritual guru, or educational leader, professor. I am the Junkyard Jedi, right? I come from a place far and beyond this world, using techniques and motifs of all various sorts to come to a conclusion that suits my needs and my observations to a measure that is mine and my own. And if you dig that shit, thank you. If you don't, use it as a shovel to dig your own shit. You dig what I'm saying? That's what I do. You know what I'm saying? It's a dignified bastard. Right? That's what I do as a dignified bastard. You know, I bring it to you. I make book references, simply because there used to be a time, confession, there used to be a time when a brother like myself, when I was nigging, when I was really nigging, when I was getting my nig all the way on, you know what I'm saying? When I was really nigging like that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, bro, let me tell you something. If you're a melanated man, right, just my observation, if you are a melanated man and you are in my age bracket this time around, you in the mid 40s, I'm 45, Coke 45, goddammit. If you conscious at this point, like you really conscious and you on your path, then you know what I'm talking about. You went through that phase where you was nigging, you was still nigging, but you had knowledge. You know what I'm saying? So you was a nigga with knowledge who was still nigging. So you would nig when you nug. Damn, you would nig when you nigged around your niggas with your knowledge. You dig what I'm saying? If that make any sense. That means you would just kick that shit, not necessarily because it was in you, right? But because you thought that made you look cool. You thought that made you, you thought that made you some type of somebody to be marveled at. Just like the cat who dresses well, right? It's a little different, but it's similar. You dig what I'm saying? Because that still garners a lot of attention, a lot of visual attention. And once again, it goes back to being so in touch with this physical reality, right? Because all of our manifestations, due to this dimension, due to this density that we are presently in, let me back up. Not all of, but most of the manifestations, we want those to be of the physical brand. You dig what I'm saying? That's what we want. We want that shit to be of the physical brand, right? But we don't realize that we're dealing with the energy. You're not actually dealing with the item, right? The physical item, right? Everything has a energy, right? On its basic level, right? Sand has an energy. A malachite stone has energy. Your laptop, my cell phone, this microphone, all have gold. Blood, when it's pumping through our veins, it has a certain energy, right? That's why they have different blood types, right? Different blood types have different qualities, different energies, right? Not to get too far off base, but everything has an energy, right? So if you want to, or if I want to attract an abundant item like a Ferrari or a sports car of some kind, I'm going to have to align with the energy of abundance, not necessarily align with the energy of, Ferrari or Maybach or some shit. You dig what I'm saying? Yes. Yeah, we back from that quick little break. Keep it going. Yeah. But no, like I was saying, if you are on this path, this journey, so to speak, then I'm quite sure that you are aware of the fact, right? Aware of the truth to a certain degree that your imagination is big in this thing, as far as manifesting those things that you want, right? Your imagination is a huge part of that, and emotion, feelings, inner feelings. This is a heart chakra activation type deal. You dig what I'm saying? Like, you have to really be in alignment with the energy of love. You dig what I'm saying? That's an activation of the heart chakra, right? And how does one do that, right? Well, once again, answering the question that was the inspiration for this show, is it an appropriate time to delve off into the mystical, magical, metaphysical aspects of our reality? And very plainly, I'll let you answer that question, but I know what my answer is. And my answer, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, my answer is dogs and cats. My answer is hell yeah. You dig what I'm saying? Because when you dig off into the mystical, magical, metaphysical, beyond this reality type of aspects of what things are, right? You begin to inquire about who and what you are, right? It becomes a inspiration. Once again, something on the inner parts of who I am has been pushing me, pulling me, dragging me, carrying me to this particular version of myself that I am right now. And that's okay, right? because one of the first rules, right? One of the first rules, one of the most memorable lines rather, of the movie that every metaphysician or occultist or esoteric student refers to is the Matrix. And the scene comes to mind when Neo meets the Oracle for the first time. And, crazy part, she's smoking a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, we've already, given so much weight to what we think spiritual people ought to look like. You dig what I'm saying? We giving this idea to what the average spiritual stereotype should look and sound like. You dig what I'm saying? On some shit like, man, I thought you was spiritual. Like, you still eating meat, you still eating pork, or whatever. You smoke cigarettes or you smoke herb, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. And it's like, look, referring back to the Matrix, this is the Oracle, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a pretty fucking big deal if you got invited to see the goddamn Oracle, man. Like, if you got invited to see the Oracle, you know what I'm saying? That was like getting the golden ticket on Willy Wonka and shit, Charlie and that shit. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. So going to see the Oracle and just seeing that, she was a regular old lady, so to speak, on the outside. But on the flip side, Neo wasn't much to look at either. You dig what I'm saying? So never mind the package, right? It's about the gift. It's about the gift and what you are willing to do with it. Referring back to the Matrix, in the second Matrix, if I'm not mistaken, or leading into the second Matrix, it was found that Neo was flying at this point. So now you see the progression in the actuality of what is now taking place in the consciousness through and by the activation of the emotions. You dig what I'm saying? No emotional damage, right? Or if there is emotional damage, guess what? You transmuting it, Now, the wisdom that I will drop on you, the gem that I will leave you with, the feather that I will place in your hat, is that's where the beauty of it comes in, right? The beauty of it comes in when you are making your own self-inspired inquiries, and now you are the seeker, right? You are the seeker. You are the quote-unquote Atmajani. You are the self-governed sage. God damn it. Right? Everything about you is divine. If you've decided that, then yes, of course, you should study metaphysics in the current climate today, even though they got motherships showing up. Yes, you should study the magical aspects of this reality, even though there's an ongoing feud between Turkey and Russia, Ukraine, and all this crazy type shit. Yes, you should get into mysticism, right? Even though the banks are quote unquote falling and people are losing, right? People are losing. We are making advances in technology in one end, but on the other end, there are so many calamities happening, right? Quote unquote calamities, right? But you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna really get into that. We're just gonna call it what it is. It's what it's always been. right? This is the balancing act that nature has to do on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week cycle, right? What we've done, right, with our puny freaking reptilian minds, right, to a degree, what we've done is we've created these systems, right, that we've fallen victim to. It's kind of like Dr. Frankenstein's monster, and he didn't hauled off and just did some old bullshit, and now you can't control him, right? So being that, through some type of perverted extension of man's will to control the physical world, we've gotten to a place where we must go, or we've seen things that are now entering into our quote-unquote physical reality that we didn't see before, right? We didn't see these things before, not on this level, not on this scale. We didn't see this much corruption, right? We didn't see this so much suppression of the truth. We ain't seen this. Like, this is new, right? But on the flip side, this is also, the Aquarian age, right? How can you tell? Well, let's go back to it. Pluto is in Aquarius now, right? We are in the Aquarian age. The Aquarian age is all about information, right? Raising the collective consciousness of the masses, right? Right? These are the degrees, right? These are the degrees, right? The quote-unquote dimensions, or the different universes, whatever you want to talk. If you want to talk that talk, talk that talk. If that's what you want to say. But I'm going to say that, these are the different degrees, the different levels that they are referring to in some aspects of masonry or esoteric information, right? The levels, right? We're getting to a place beyond discrimination based off what someone is looking like, right? Nothing wrong with love for your people. Let me just say that again. Absolutely nothing wrong with love for your people. Because I'm going to tell you what. Worst come to worst, my people come first, right? But now that extends beyond quote-unquote black skin or dark skinned people for me. That goes to a place of my people being those who resonate on the vibration, on the frequency that I'm on, which is one of love, right? Which is one of self-mastery, which is one of truth, right? Which is one of self-knowledge, which is one of seeking, right? Which is one of apotheosis. You dig what I'm saying? Which is one of self. Yeah. God. Yeah. One of self-deifications. Right? Man, that's a lot of. I overdid it with them. I might have overdid it a little bit, but them shits was on point. They felt good. They felt right. But yeah, one of self-deification, right? Where I've come to my own determination that in order for me to have the most manifestation power, then my mindset right? My mindset has to be in alignment with where I want to go, right? Many people, as of late, due to not just social media, but once again, just celebrity worship, fascination, we've come to the determination that as great as Michael Jordan was, right? As great as Kobe Bryant was, the one thing that they both had in common was that attitude of win or nothing else, victorious or nothing else. And what people, you can clap for that. Mamba mentality, right? It's a Jordan-esque brand of genius that Kanye has. But no, and Kanye is a good person to throw in that mix too, to complete that grand trine right there. No, but Kanye being an air sign and all, being a Gemini, talking about Air Jordan and Kobe, likeness, air appearance, and all that good jazz. But anyway, all of them had a certain mindset, and this mindset brings about a certain personality. And people say, "Oh my God, he's conceited, he's big-headed, he's arrogant, things of that nature," and you are automatically, or this person is automatically told to what? Humble themselves, right? Well, allow me to interject this idea that there is a time and place for everything, right? And knowing the time and place, right, will be your or a person's very necessary tool when it comes to being in tune with the emotions and energy of the atmosphere that you're in, to know when that is. When is it your time to just lock in, like Kobe, like Kanye, like Jordan? When is it going to be your time to lock in so that you can not stop until you get enough? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? When is it going to be your time to lock in? Right? When is it going to be your time? Or are you just going to be continuously distracted and things of that nature? When is it your time, right, to get in tune with who you are and how you're going to align yourself with what it is that you want to attract? That is the secret to, manifestation, the law of attraction, attuning and aligning to what it is that you seek, instead of seeking that thing out, right? Instead of seeking out $1 million, how can you attune and align yourself to the energy of abundance? How can you do that, right? How can you do that? Somebody might say, well, a money spell might work. Well, it might, right? It might. But which one? Because there's so many out there, right? We could be talking about a money spell with Pelo Mayambe, a hoodoo money spell, a Santeria prosperity spell, or what have you, right? You can burn some ancestor money, whatever, right? You can make an offering on You make an offering on your altar to certain deities, Oshun, Asar, Aset, right? Whoever, Baphomet, whoever, shit. If you want to get real jiggy with it, you can make an offering to, some demons, That's right, I said it. Some goddamn demons, right? When you realize and recognize, right, who you are, then you won't be afraid of who these quote unquote demons are, right? Because truth should be told, a lot of us been fucking with some demons on this side of things and we ain't know, and we regretted it, huh? It's quite possible that if you keep fucking with me, you might learn some shit. It's quite possible. Quite possible. You dig what I'm saying? It's quite possible. But yeah, some of us been fucking with some demons, in our family, in our relationships, in our sexual relationships, in our personal relationships, in our marriages. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? You looking for some shit to come crawling up out a black, dark, deep ass hole in the ground. And it's like, nah, you gotta watch all around you for them demons. That ain't the only type, right? You know what I'm saying? They're not the only type, right? Energy takes on many forms, right? So the same way we take on many forms, right? And maybe that's a whole nother conversation, episode, what have you, because shit, I got time. Fuck it. Along. Nah, man, support the Dignified Bastard Podcast. Thank you, man. Support, subscribe, share these audios, all right? These transmissions. These are truth transmissions, man. Let me tell you something, man. I've said this before, and I used to really care about how people heard or how people took what I said, right? Like I said, when I was nigging, right? But now looking back on when I was nigging and I would get around my niggas and I thought I had knowledge and I was a nigga with knowledge, I would nig for my niggas with the knowledge that I thought they needed, but I didn't necessarily, need to do that. I did it because I was nigga and I thought that made a nigga cool. But, right? But, truth be told, truth should be told, until I stopped just nigging, right? And really went inside, right? Went on my own journey. Was I able to, really, dig in, right? And be that self-seeker, or understand that, this thing is about, soul to soul. You know what I mean? So there are some times when you are going to be the student, sometimes when you're going to be the teacher, right? And our best teacher is nature, is these quote unquote this big wide world, this big wide cosmos that we live in, that is ever changing, that is ever evolving, that pulsates and vibrates with its own resonance. You dig what I'm saying? We live inside of a living, breathing, active universe, right? That is both light and dark energy. So it is both non-physical and physical at the same damn time, right? On multiple levels. So until we, begin to, I believe, right, make those observations about ourselves, we're going to continue to force reincarnate. Yeah, you're going to continue to be. Oh, hell no. Yeah, that's right. Back up in this bitch. And you ain't gonna know nothing from nothing, and you're gonna have to go through the whole process of waking up again. And my particular campaign, I don't care what nobody say, my campaign is to stop that. Now, I can't necessarily stop that for you, right? But I can stop that for me. I want it to be a choice, right? Because here in this reality, once again, that has been structured and set in stone, right? For the basis of manipulation and keeping you in check in a light code lockdown, as the father teacher Baba Phil Valentine says, it keeps you in light code lockdown through and by way of the manipulation of the English language, so on and so forth, right? So in order to get out of that, right, you're going to have to elevate your consciousness. You're going to have to grow and expand constantly, right? So that you remember who you are, so that at that time of transition, at that time that you do slide about this thing into your next assignment, if your assignment is to assist with the leveling up of humanity, then you want to come back with some semblance of the sanity and the gnosis that you had while you were here, right? Nothing left on the bone. We using the bones too. Keep them bones, right? Right? Because they keep the bones. Well, what do you mean, Junkyard Jedi? Well, they keep the bones, right? They keep the bones, right? Over there in Santa Maria del Corsezione del Cappuccino in Rome, Italy. They keep the bones, right? They keep the bones downstairs beneath the church, right? Got like a whole cataclysmic appeal to it. And I know I butchered that Italian, but I don't speak no Italian. But anyway, they kept those bones down there, right? They kept those bones down there because dun, dun, dun. They kept those bones. They kept those bones down there because they wanted to. Nah, I'm just bullshit. I don't know why they kept those. I don't know why they kept those bones down there, but I kept those. Damn. What I think is they kept those bones down there to perform some type of ritual, maybe. But once again, it made a statement, right, that echoed throughout time, right? And that statement is that, we don't have a lot of time here. We don't have a lot of time here, right? So whatever essence that you have that animates this fleshly avatar that you're in, it has to be significantly raised to a point to make or break this experience for you or me, right? And there are those of us who are meant to do great things, but for some whatever reason, we can't get out of our own way, right? We just can't seem to get out of our own way. And once again, this is one of those things that kind of leads back to the question that I started off this episode with. At this present time, right, in 2023, right, the first quarter of 2023, right, we about to hit our first 90 days in this bitch, so to speak, right? This being a 7 year, 7, that's the God number, right? 7 chakras, 7 seeds, 7 days of the week. Lucky number 7. 7 just being, associated with all things good, so to speak. God is in good, or good is in God. You dig what I'm saying? 7, 7-Eleven, 7 even backdoored, even Joe, little Joe. You dig what I'm saying? So this 7 year, right, in this God year, are we going to continue to separate things, separate ourselves from God? Or are we going to not necessarily substitute what we believe God to be or what God is, but when are we going to see the godness of ourselves? That is the question, right? And what I say, my answer to that is we start seeing the God in ourselves right now, right? We don't wait. We start seeing the divine in ourselves right now. Shit, if you gonna call yourself a nigga, still be a nigga divine, right? On some Easy NWA type shit, right? Right? NWA, nigga with authenticity. That's what I am. I'm a naga with authenticity. Don't nobody do what I do the way I do what I damn do. You dig what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. Yeah. Right. You know what I mean? Right? You think about all the quote unquote stars, right? Who have transitioned, whatever you believe, whether you believe they were taken out or not. You think about all the ones who have transitioned, man, all of them had their own signature brand, style, energy, that made them able to appeal to their fans based off of their ability to do what they did a certain kind of way and do it quite well. Right? They attracted people who was on that vibe. So as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, as you can see, right, we attract those things that we seek, right? Somehow, some way, we keep coming up with funky ass hits like every single day. You dig what I'm saying? The clues and shit are all around us. Like, if that's what the goal is, right? If the decision is to, let's just say, paint the Sistine Chapel, I sound like Tracy Morgan, Chapel, to paint the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. If that is the goal, right, for Michelangelo, once he made that decision, right, if he didn't believe in his own ability or he didn't trust in his imagination, intuition, he didn't believe in this divine inspiration, he wouldn't have done that, right? Didn't he have to lay on his back, right? He had to lay on his back, right? So he had to, in a way, in a sense, he had to lean back. Shout out to Fat Joe. He had to lean back. He had to lay supine, right, in order to get that done in a very uncomfortable position, right? And just follow me with this. He had to lay in a very uncomfortable position for a long time. And some of us won't even inconvenience ourselves by foregoing, those luxuries that we feel like we gotta have, right? Now, I'm not saying that we should live off a system of planned productivity or punishment reward, right? Whatever works for you, right? If a system of punishment and rewards works for you, then that's what you go with, right? But what I need you, or what I would like for anybody who listens to this and resonates with it, what I would like for anybody to attempt is to just give some thought, you dig what I'm saying, to these ideas that I fashion from time to time, because you ain't seen nothing yet, right? You ain't seen nothing yet. I said I was going to talk a little bit about John Wick. I made a movie reference already on The Matrix and whatnot. Talk about John Wick 4. I just saw it last night. What I think about it, it wasn't as good as John Wick 3, the one with Halle Berry. Still has some esoteric aspects to it, some occult aspects to it, right? The service to self or the service to others aspect, right? John Wick is forced to sacrifice his role of being an agent for the service to himself, but he's being a service to someone else, right? But I find it pretty dope that is the motto or whatever for the high table, right? The organization that he works for, or that wants him dead. Ultimately, the motto is, I have served, so I will be of service, or something like that, something to that effect. And this is like, this is like an alternate version. And other people have said this, and I don't want to make it seem like, Junkyard Jedi came up with that shit. Nah, that wasn't me. That was somebody else. But I'm going to kind of shine a little bit of light on it. I wish I had a name who I can give credit for it, but other podcasters have referred to the fact that if you look at the roles that Keanu Reeves plays, the main ones, right? The main ones, which are, let's just say the main ones that he's more recently known for: Constantine, Neo, John Wick, right? Let's just stick with those. If you look at these particular characters or archetypes, right, they're basically showing you the multiple dimensionalities of the same individual, right? That's really what it is. If you look at Constantine, for instance, let's look at Constantine. Much like Neo, much like John Wick, his other alter egos, Constantine deals with the hidden, right? He deals with the metaphysical. He deals with the magical, right? He deals with the reality outside of the physical reality. He smokes. You dig what I'm saying? Like, unlike Neo, he knows that there is a quote unquote heaven or hell, right? That souls must deal with on a level outside of everyday human reality. He knows all of these things, right? He's kind of a pessimistic dude. He's dark. You know what I mean? Like, he don't give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he done seen demons, you know, like we see clouds or some shit, right? He don't care. So compare that to Neo, right? Neo in the first Matrix is what? He is naive, right? He doesn't really have a lot of knowledge of the reality that is not the physical reality that he is used to communing and dealing with. He has a bit of an idea because he's a hacker. So as a hacker, what he can do, he can move in and out of, you know, that particular world or different worlds with a bit of anonymity, right? Like a ghost, right? Once again, Constantine, Neo, John Wick. John Wick is a little bit different, right? John Wick is a little bit different. He's like some sort of gun-wielding samurai, right? But he deals a lot with the occultic or esoteric way of doing things, the hidden hand, this wide web of united assassins, right? This is very quote unquote under the table. Like I said, the umbrella that he operates under is referred to as the council or the high table, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me. Don't at me on that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to make the correlation. Once again, going back to John Wick 4 that just was released over the weekend. Man, shout out to Lance Reddick, man. Rise and power to that brother. Keanu Reeves was quoted saying that he dedicated the movie to that brother who dies. Spoiler alert, he dies in the movie. And, you know, it just so happens that he dies in real life. But, you know, I'm going to leave that out to the people who do the whole murder by the numbers or death by the numbers gematria or whatever. Y'all go ahead and have a field day with that shit. You dig what I'm saying? All I'm saying is the brother's gonna rise in power. But getting back to the movie, yeah, I felt like the ongoing theme of the movie was consistent with part 3. The action and the storyline, not so much. Part 3, the action was believable, yet it was still a bit over the top. But this action right here was kind of like, come on, son, like for real. Like some of it was like, come on, man, y'all fighting in traffic, like moving traffic in Paris, like on that circle, that main circle. I forgot what that shit is called, but like for real, like this is what's going on. Like, you know, he monkey flipping niggas on cars and shit. I was like, come on, bro. Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, I'm about to turn Black Adam back on. Don't make me do that. But once again, going back to that connection, between Neo, Constantine, and John Wick. These are all different levels of consciousness, right? I think John Wick being mostly tied to that person who has waking up, like a Neo, say for instance, he has waken up, but something was taken from him or her. Something was taken from him, just like in the case of John Wick. His wife got sick, died, right? So, you dig what I'm saying? His love is gone. His heart is broken, right? He's out of the physical killing, taking of life, right? Because he knows that he has a certain amount of karma to pay for that. He has a karmic debt for that. But once again, what I find very fascinating about his story as well is he's called what? Baba Yaga, the boogeyman, right? He lurks in the shadows, right? Just like the boogeyman. Remember the boogeyman, right? So once again, there's this undergirding of darkness, shadowy, almost nebulous energy associated with these particular roles that Keanu Reeves has been playing with Neo, John Wick, and Constantine, right? And the whole movie, John Wick 4, is about building and destroying. Lawrence Fishburne is back in it as the king of the Bowery king or whatever. And even he begins to shit off with like doing some old bogus ass Last Poets type shit, basically saying that the king has returned. You know what I'm saying? So part 3, I think the theme was going home, going to the essence, going to the memory, the original memory of who you were, who I am, who, you know what I'm saying, you were meant to be, right? Going back to that. Not necessarily staying there, but this remembrance of your achievements, of your special uniqueness that makes you you, right? That will make the conquering and the achievements a lot easier to navigate, right? The relationships will begin to become easier to navigate when you navigate the best relationship with yourself. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it's really simple math. It's it's not chess, it's checkers, right? But you get these quote unquote spiritual gurus out here, and man, they set you up. They got you looking one way when you should be looking the other way. Well, Junkyard Jedi, what do you mean? Don't you believe in dragons, fairies, mermaids, aliens, so on and so forth? Oh, indeed, yes I do. But there's a certain time and a place for that, right? And what I like to do is make sure that I address these people who are, newly illuminated minds, these newly activated souls who are, kind of drudging through this thing, right? They drudging through this thing on a ground level, grassroots type ordeal, right? Because spirituality, a lot of this spirituality stuff, man, it's like going to Six Flags or Kings Dominion or some shit. A lot of these rides don't work. You dig what I'm saying? Or if they work, they seasonal. Right? A lot of these people, they was here, but now they gone. Right? New people have replaced them, and some of the mainstays don't even mainly stay like that no more. They pop in and pop out because this is an ongoing thing. They have lives to lead. They have lives to live. They have children to raise. They have people that love them. They got to take care of their health too. So first and foremost, let's get back to it. This is a 7 year. That means this is God year. You got to God's do for self. Repeat, I say God's do for self. Generator, operator, destroyer, master, and noble. Right? God's do for self. Right? God's do for self. Right? Going back to the Keanu Reeves and his archetype characters that he's been playing lately. The John Wick archetype, he does for self. Right? He's doing for self in part 4. Right? He submits to a duel. Right? Self versus self. His homeboy, his concierge, the owner of the Continental Hotel, the dark-haired gentleman who plays Odin on American Gods. I can't remember his name, but I love the dude's voice, man. Got a great voice. But he sees his hotel, the Continental in New York, NYC. You see that shit get blown to bits. Right? Message, right? Do not fall in love with your material possessions, right? Because they are what? They are physical extensions of the physical world. Can't keep this shit, man. Only thing you can keep are the jewels and gems of your spirit, right? Those things that are going to edify your soul, right? But you say, hey, man, this 3D reality is some bullshit. You know, I don't know if I want to manifest things in this bullshit ass 3D reality. But let me tell you something. The easier you find it and the easier you make it to live your life to the fullest, live your soul purpose in this 3D reality, the easier you'll make it to elevate up out this piece. You dig what I'm saying? That's really what you want. You want to be able to elevate up out of here. Want to be able to make it up out of here, man. You dig what I'm saying? And how do you do that? With love, right? You do that with love. You do that with being flexible in your thinking. You do that with being this self-seeking sage that you were put here to be, right? You do that by being aware of the moment, being aware of the energy, right? Loving up on yourself, man, right? Knowing that you are divine. Like I said, you are divine. Everything I do divine. Nigga, if I fought, you dig what I'm saying? That ain't nothing but a Mississippi gut bucket prophecy. You dig what I'm saying? Sounding off from the ethers, goddammit. Nah, but for real, man, it's about enjoying life because we never fashioned ourselves to enjoy this this cyclical thing called life that is constantly in motion. But it's our minds that move through time and space knowing that, remembering that will cause you to take better care of your physical self, your mental self, and your emotional self. I do believe that was something that was channeled to me from the ethers. You dig what I'm saying? Like I said, I used to be afraid. I used to feel some kind of way of saying it. I channel actively, bro. Been psychic. You know what I'm saying? Been a psychic. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing new. So, like I said, on some slick, streetwise Professor Xavier type shit, I'm letting people know that, this is the times that we are moving in. This is the direction that things are going. Like I said earlier, Mother Earth is evolving. So are we. As above, so below. They are discovering that the universe is ever expanding, ever living, ever renewing, aspects of itself over and over again, right? Firing off, new neurons, things of that nature, right? So we see it, right? We see it, right? We see it, so we understand that. Going back to John Wick 4, he had the spoiler. Sorry. Gotta be the one to say it, man. He died in this shit, y'all. Yeah, he died, man. He died. So this one had a lot of death in it, right? Also had a lot of water. So, once again, referring to those emotions. Emotions make you cry sometimes. And water usually is deep, right? Just like the depths of our emotions. So that was a constant scene in it. His main adversary did not have the ability of sight. Once again, right? Alluding to that darkness that you must go into, right? So the question was asked earlier, which was the inspiration for this episode. At this present moment, should we be paying attention, giving attention and credence to the mystical, metaphysical, and the magical? And I say to you this in closing, departing words for this episode: such is life. That was a line from the movie. Such is life, right? This life is mystical, magical, metaphysical. So you goddamn right. We should be all about that, right? Elevate your soul, right? So you won't be under their systems of control. All right, it's all about elevation, man. Positive education always causes elevation, man. It's been great rocking with you this afternoon for this hour and a half, man. Like I said, man, I do these shows when I am divinely inspired, and I think that just works best for me. If I average one a month, that's the minimum, but, whatever. This is my voice. It's my choice. Nah. But seriously, man, the divine inspiration has to be there. But anyway, everything I do is divine. Even when I waste my time, nothing is wasted because it is what it is. Everybody, all hearts and minds are clear. I'm going to get up on out of here, man, and do my thing. All right? Once again, man, you have been in tune with the one, the only, Divyne Bastard Podcast. I thank you. Thank yourselves, man, for tolerating me on some cameo shit, talking out the side of my neck. But it ain't gonna be no disrespect. Anyway, man, I love y'all. Y'all be safe, man. Remember to stay grounded out here. Drink your water. Those of you who are recognizing and participating in Ramadan, you know what I'm saying? Make sure, you keep them thoughts elevated and stay strong. You know what I'm saying? This is all about physical discipline for spiritual manifestations. That's what Ramadan is about to me. At least that's what it was when I was thinking about taking my shahada. Now I'm going to shahala at you later. Peace.